Om Shri Shankaraya Namaha. Yes, my dear child.
Shankaram Shankaracharyam Shashvatam Shaktamanasam Shivagama Shikshakashreshtam Shivabijam Shivatmajam. Submitting it as Rupati. Namaskaram, Sama. Every time just before acting, or a thought comes up, and that is the correct thought. Eventually, I realized that was the correct thought. That it finally it comes to that thought. But physically, I am not following that thought.
Yes.
அது வந்து past few years. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி I was able to follow as soon as it used to give me so much joy, and I used to follow it with joy.
Yes.
Now I question every time a thought comes. I keep questioning. I give justifications, and then finally it just remains a thought, and I do opposite or do something else completely different. So something is now I realize that it's acting as a barrier, or something is coming up which is trying to என்ன thought கரெக்ட்னு தெரியுது, ஆனா அது என்னால பண்ண முடியல. அது எப்படி
There is a scriptural saying which says, when Lord, it's a word of Lord. I think even in Islam it says this. It says, when I want to hurt you, I don't need to take a form, come and hurt you. Mostly I don't, unless and until it's the biggest asura. If I want to hurt you, if I want to hurt you, all I do is I put a screen for your thought. Tamil sindanaikku thirayidudalnu per. So somewhere, somehow during that period, you moved far away from Lord and ego had activated. If you notice, it would have activated exactly when your riches went up. So when you knew that your earnings or your savings were comfortable, that is when the ego would have risen. And when that has risen, you have lost your original inner self. See, it is like this, my child. What we have, just because we have it, we can't enjoy it. Lord has to allow us to enjoy it. So enjoyment is not dependent on how hard you work or how much money you have. It depends on how much you are allowed to enjoy. Even if somebody is a multi-billionaire, if they can't eat to their stomach full because they have an illness, it is not Lakshmikaram, but it is Alakshmikaram. So if the moment a self understands, my ego is the reason Lord is putting this curtain, this thirai, this curtain, we need to deplete everything that has caused that ego in the first place. So already, if you ever were near a guru, they would have already told you or given you chances to deplete yourself in ways so that screen would have gone away, and then everything would have been back into you with you, so that you can really enjoy them. Because otherwise, that will never be able to be enjoyed, because that screening is the biggest punishment Lord gives to a soul. That screening, when it happened only because it hasn't happened because Lord wants to punish you. It has happened because Lord says that you are worthy to be protected. Lord doesn't want you to rot in hell forever. So Lord is giving a chance on this bhulokam itself rather than sending you to Thalas. So that gap that you're feeling, that screen that you're feeling, that is Lord telling you, this is not who you are, my child. Why are you behaving like this? Lord is trying to scream. That is Lord's screaming word. It's said in scriptures, it is said through gurus, and actually gurus would have begged you, given you every chance to give dhanam, the biggest dhanam that ever is in the world. But somehow that ego has not wilted away yet, which means what caused the ego is still there in abundance, and it is actually going to just make Lord go to the next step from this screening, the screening effect. The next step is to chedam. That's called chedam. Chedam means destruction. So before going into destruction is when screen happens. So in Tamil we have seen தடுத்தாட்கொள்வது, கொடுத்தாட்கொள்வது கெடுத்தாட்கொள்வது. In this, கொடுத்தாட்கொள்வது comes first. If somebody is so pure, Lord gives everything and tries to have them near Lord. You can see this in every great guru, every great acharya, male and female, all saints and saintesses, all the monks and male and female. You can see that Lord is sending the entire world to them. Lord is sending so many riches to them. Lord is trying to take them by giving. Lord is giving everything, and by giving everything, Lord is trying to just read them. When they want nothing, that's why they are realized beings. Even in the travel towards realization, God sends everything to sort of see if they are moved by anything. That's called koduthaatkolvadu. That is for the highest in Mukti Yatra. Taduthaatkolvadu. So when taduthaatkolvadu happens, the screening happens. That screening happens. This is what even in that song, Thirayin pin nirkindrai kanna. This thirai is there only because of ego, and for everyone something activates the ego. For a person, it might be their beauty that activated the ego exactly when they were adolescent. So for some person it can be riches that activated the ego. For some person it can be a position that activated the ego. For some person it can be the social network, the power they hold, that activated the ego. For some person it can be like, I don't need to depend on anyone anymore. It can be the physical strength and that uniquity of self that activated the ego. Wherever the ego is activated, we can see that in many great successful musicians also, how they commit and die. That is because the ego, the thirai has happened. So that for them, the talent itself activated the ego. So when ego is activated for any one reason, that reason has to be taken away for the ego to first deactivate. When the reason is taken away, then the ego deactivates itself. That screen doesn't happen anymore. When the screen doesn't, that screen doesn't happen anymore, there is no difference between your thoughts and your actions. They are all in line with dharma. Because what did that first activation has been taken away, and when that first activation has been taken away, everything collapses. So until that first activation is taken away, nothing collapses. It constantly keeps on circling itself. If you can get something right in one issue, but the next issue you'll get everything wrong. Or in the same issue, the second time you'll get everything wrong. With one person you might get it wrong, and the next person, because that screen is not laid by a human, it's not laid by a guru, it is laid by Lord. So it is Mahamaya laying that screen. Unless and until that is removed, and when Lord has come to the screening effect, Lord would have by that time given so many unbearable pains, because the screening effect itself is the beginning of unbearable pains. When the screening effect happens, one can definitely say within the next 7 years they're going to have the first downfall, then within the next 14 years they would have lost everything. So if something happens like that, there's a time period for that. But when it goes into that punishing phase, that is a totally, when the screen effect finishes that amount of years, it goes into the punishing phase. When the punishing phase happens, anyway Lord is going to take everything that began one's ego to begin with. If it is beauty that caused it, then beauty will be taken away. It is power that caused it, power will be taken away. It is money that caused it, money will be taken away. If it is gold that caused it, gold will be taken away. Sometimes even the pride of one's own children would have caused it. Then the children will suddenly misbehave and all the pride will go away. Whatever caused it, that will be taken away by Lord. Lord doesn't need any permission. Lord never needed permission for the screen. Lord will never need permission to do that, punishing act as well. So, in ahaṁkāra vicāram, even recognizing that one has a screen is a very good sign. But recognition is just one part of it, because that does not heal anything. Just because you know that there is a lion outside, it is not going to stop eating you when you go out. Recognizing a screen is the beginning of diagnosis. That's all. At this point, you need to have somebody whom you really trust. Some temple, some guru, some brahmandam, where you can offer everything, knowing that nothing will be lost, it will all come back to me. So that you should have trust somewhere. ஏதோ ஒரு கோயிலில் இருக்கணும், ஏதோ ஒரு கடவுள் மேலே இருக்கணும், ஏதோ ஒரு பர்சன் மேலே இருக்கணும், ஏதோ ஒரு குரு மேலே இருக்கணும். It should leave you, and you should know that what is thrown into this will come back to me. So when that happens, that ego cannot survive anymore, because that thirai is gone. If at all you ever had some guru in your life, the guru would have been screaming at you in soft ways, in high, in energy depleting ways for the guru, in so much of information, with so much of anger, which is so alien to a guru, with a direct attack because it is Rudra activating, and a guru is through that Rudram, guru is trying to somehow send a lifeline. Gurus are not at their liberty. Enlightened beings are not at their liberty to talk what they want to talk. They can only do one thing, like Sri Krishna's Pullanguril. They can just listen to what Lord is actually talking through them to another. When Rudra is talking, every guru pains more than what you think that you ever will pain. Because every downfall of every soul actually eats away that mukta to a great level, because they have been human at one point. They know that this person can get it. And why until Rudra they waited? Why until Mahakali, Mahamaya activation they waited? So that is a very painful thing. That is why they say in Hinduism, you should not give pain to a guru, because which means they are not saying that guru is so important and you should not give a pain. They are actually telling you, if a guru is paining, then you are actually going to a very dark place from which you can never come out for Janma Janmas. So if guru feels that, then that is the end of it. So when the guru is feeling that pain, so that thirai is a very good thing that you recognized it, and if you act on that, if you look at what all caused it, then if you act on it, that first acting is ego will not allow it, because ego lives on it. Ego will not allow it. So that first act should be almost like an impulse where you have stripped yourself of everything, knowing that even if I die out of it, it's still okay. Whatever happens, it's still okay. எனக்கு சோறு போடுறதுக்கும் எனக்கு வஸ்திரம் வாங்கி தரதுக்கும் யாரோ ஒருத்தர் இருக்காங்க. அது எப்பயுமே கதவு ஓப்பனாக இருக்கிற ஒரு இடம் இருக்குது. எனக்கு இந்த இடத்துல போனால் எனக்கு சாப்பாடு இருக்கும், என்னை ஏன் வந்தேன்னு கேட்க மாட்டாங்க, எனக்கு வஸ்திரம் இருக்கும், எனக்கு கட்டிக்கிறதுக்கு வஸ்திரம், சாப்பிட்றதுக்கு சோறும் இருக்குது. இதை தவிர மனுஷனுக்கு வேறு எதுவும் தேவையில்லை. நான் மற்ற எல்லாத்தையும் கொடுத்துட்டு நான் எல்லாமே நிஜமாகவே ஏமாந்து போனால் கூட ஐ கேன் கோ ஹியர், தட் வில் நாட் ரிஜெக்ட் மீ. எத்தனை மட்டங்கள் இருக்குது, எத்தனை குருமார்கள் இருக்காங்க. they are not going to just close the doors on somebody who has lost everything. That person has gained the place at the feet of a guru. That kind of things happen. No mattam will say, no, I don't want you. They can't say that. It won't say that. And even if you lose, that is, I have that place. When you have that level of clarity, and when you act without a delay of even 1 ounce, then miraculous shifts will happen inside self, because that thirai is going away. Although it happened for many years, when it goes away, it can go away very fast, because you're not the same you anymore. Because the moment you start, somebody can be suffering with a chronic illness for a very long time, but when the diagnosis happens and the first medicine goes in, then their health will pick up from that point onwards. And only up until diagnosis and getting a medication, a person has to suffer. When they get a medication, things get better. But there are levels where even after medication, everything won't get better. That is when from this thirai, the next level happens, nothing will get better. So that is a chronic illness that a person has to die with. That is the end of life. But this thirai, before it completely collapses, goes to the next level, one has a chance to reverse everything in their life by that medication. That medication has to, Mahamaya has to provide that medication. Ishvara can't provide it. One can serve Ishvara, and Mahamaya has to provide it. But if one serves Ishvara truthfully, then Mahamaya provides it. Otherwise, the same thing that made the thirai happen would actually take away dhanam, dhanyam. In that order it will take away. It will take away dhanam, it will take away dhanyam. Dhanyam, no, food, but food might be there, we might not be able to eat it, or we might not even be able to buy the food. So dhanam, dhanyam, pashum, all the good name in the society and all the riches one holds, in the sense all the position one holds. Bahuputra labham, all the love of all their children. Isn't it like all the Ashtadharidrams will naturally happen in that order, by reversing them? Dhanam, dhanyam, pashum, bahuputra labham, shatasamvatsaram, dirghamayu, dhridagatra arogyam, everything will go away. So anyway we are going to lose it. Why not lose it for a good cause and gain everything that ever is? Otherwise it's going to anyway go away. So if one stores that foolishness inside, then in ahaṁkāra vicāram, ahaṁkāram has won. If one is acting without even 1 second delay, it should be like next breathக்கு நம்ம எப்படி வெயிட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க, அது மாதிரி next செகண்டுக்கு வெயிட்டே பண்ணக்கூடாது. We should keep on doing it. So when one has every moment with that action, and if they are doing it, then the reversal happens. Mahamaya doesn't wait for an entire diagnosis. She starts releasing one bit at a time. So if you do one thing, she releases one bit. If she do one thing, she releases one bit. But one should really do it from the deepest possible core. It is not about what you do, it is about who is doing it. That is what Mahamaya thinks. It is not what you do, it is who you're doing it. Otherwise, in a very sad way, one begins to lose everything that they really dearly respect and revere and love. So that is what happens. Because ahaṁkāram is not hurting the people outside of you. They are all okay without you. Everybody outside is okay without you. Every person you lost, they are carrying on with their own life. But the common denominator in that is you. So when that one person loses every possible relationship, happiness, health, wealth, the common denominator is the one that suffers the most. The person that we have hurt in one way, somebody else will come and medicate them. So if you hurt whomever you have hurt, something else will come and fill that void for them. But for self, all these voids ever exist. So this is a very dangerous territory in ahaṁkāra vicāram. Ahaṁkāra vicāram can be done only with speed. Vegam. It says vegādi vegam is required. It says not vegam. Vega ati vegam. Vega ati vegam. It's almost like you don't want me to do this. When ahaṁkāram says don't, you don't want me to do this, I do it twice. You don't want me to do this, I'll do it twice. You would have seen gurus do that, teach you that. Like when ahaṁkāram doesn't want you to do something, what will happen? Nothing will happen. I am, as your amma, I'm just saying, I'm not dependent on any of you. Even if I don't have food now, even if I don't have clothes now, I have a very, very clear understanding. Everyone has a very clear understanding. When they go out, when they walk out, the universe will welcome them somehow. I know that. Every monk is teaching that. Every acharya was teaching this. Abhayar was teaching that. Every great mahan was always teaching the fearlessness of that has to overflow from within for the universe to respond to you. Universe has to respond. When the universe responds, it does not respond through known people. Everyone unknown, every door will open when something happens like that. And when all the doors open, that trust on the universe will come only when ahaṁkāram subdues. As long as ahaṁkāram is there, trust won't come. Secrecy alone, ahaṁkāram works only in secrecy and calculativeness. When both secrecy and calculativeness are completely revealed, ahaṁkāram cannot work, because those are the two foods it eats. It eats calculation, it eats food. It eats calculation and it eats secrecy. When secrecy and calculation are gone, food and water for ahaṁkāram is gone. It cannot live anymore. So transparency is the best thing. That is why even when I go into Puja Mutt in India, you see the keys are with everyone. Anyone is welcome into the lock. Everyone has got the key. Because ahaṁkāram, I'm killing everybody's ahaṁkāram. All are my children. If somebody wants to take something from me, they don't need to steal it from me. They can just walk past me taking it and not even give me a reason. I've told that to all my children. Even in India I've said that. You can take whatever you want, you can walk past me. If that is going to serve you more than what it is serving me, that is Loka Kalyanam, carry on with it. And every time I have said that, those people have only added more. And they have done that only not because I'm trusting them. It is nothing to do with me and their trust. It is because their ahaṁkāram is not active. If ahaṁkāram is not active, we cannot steal from another. If ahaṁkāram is not active, we can't calculate with another. So when they have stopped calculation and stealing, they'll be given in abundance by Mahamaya. And the only place that they know they want to bring the abundance that gives them joy is a Guru's Padam. So that is what they're doing for. Isn't it? Everyone, if what they have imagined in the wildest dreams has happened, then they come back with more and more and more, and it is not enough for them. They want to keep on doing something, because every time they do, something else is happening. Every time they do, something else is. Lord is such a glorious energy that puts you on a pedestal that is par none. But when ahaṁkāram is active, it pulls you in such dirty ways out of the pedestal, and it pushes you in the dirty grim, and it makes you feel so dirty. And Lord's pedestal stands there for the next to come. The pedestal doesn't get dirty because ahaṁkāram can't climb up the pedestal, but it can pull you down. But once a human gets into the gutter, the pedestal is free. Mahamaya does not leave Lord Shiva's pedestal. Shankara is Shiva. So Lord Shankara, Shiva Shankara's pedestal free. So Mahamaya fills it with the next. So this is what the game of Mahamaya is. This is the game between Lord and Lordess. This game between Lord and Lordess is the entirety of Lalitopakyam. It's the entirety of Lalitopakyam. And this is why our Sri Lalita Sahasranamam also ends with, it starts with Shri Mata, Shri Maharagni, only mother. It ends with Shiva, Shiva Shaktaikya Rupini, Lalitambika. It starts with a mother. But by the end of it, our father has come. Isn't it? It is this game. Actually, Lalita Sahasranamam is in reverse. When that mother and father are playing a game, for us not to get caught in the game, in the choric claws of that Mahamaya, Mother Mahakali, we need to play the game correctly by constantly offering everything to the father. அந்த மாதிரி பீப்புளுக்கு வரும் பாரு. What did anybody like any Mahan ever have for all the riches to flood to them except Mahamaya? If our Shri, the greatest Mukta of this time periods for many years, many actually centuries, I would say Shri Mahaperiva, Mahashri Chandrasekhara Saraswati Swami. If His Highness just wished it, if somebody came and they were going to do a wedding for their daughter, all His Highness needed to do is, I want to give some gold to this family. Think about it. And Mahamaya sends sovereigns and sovereigns and sovereigns. We have seen that in every record. As the person is waiting, much gold comes to that person in front of that Guru's padam. And Guru just points it and says, take. Why does the Guru need to ever have anything to give? Same with every human. Aren't there Muktas teaching us that you are all God? Isn't that what Muktas are always doing? We are all God. So the only money that ever comes back is the money that we give. The only riches that ever come back is the riches that we give. This Deham came from Sri Maharaja Parampariyam. I'm saying it. The only riches that ever comes back is the riches that you give in Dhanam. You just give away. The riches that you haven't done that circulation is just a Lakshmikaram. It just brings diseases and illnesses and sadness and falling out from family and all those things, misunderstandings. Behind the shut doors, there is nothing but a Lakshmikaram. When Lakshmikaram needs to come into behind the doors, only one thing will work. The Stirai being taken away. Isn't it? So very good question. Shankaram. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Sashvatam Shaktamanasam Shiva Agama Shikshaka Sheshtam Shiva Bijam Shiva Atmajam Om Shri Shankaraya Namaha.